I'm Lisa Capalla. Welcome to Where's Wilmington. Today, for the first segment of our program, we're going to be talking to two, I consider them to be local heroes, because what they are doing is sharing their musical talents and gifts with all of us in the community. So we're going to talk to Ken Michaud. Ken, good to have you with us. And next to you, I don't know if I can reach you from here, is Connor Burke. And you're both musicians. You are a singer, actually, Connor, and you play the trumpet, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to start with you, Ken, and ask you a few questions about how you got involved playing the trumpet and what you actually do for the town with the trumpeting that you do.
Well, I started playing the trumpet back when I was in high school. Yep. And of course, after high school, I haven't played all my life. So from about 20 years old to I'm 70 now, I haven't played.
Wow.
So I had an uncle out in California that was, it was the last uncle on my mother's side, living uncle. He had been in the Second World War, and he had been injured in the war in several battles and what have you. And I used to call him all the time and just talk to him.
Right.
And one time he wasn't feeling well. I said, you know what, Uncle Conrad, I'd like to play taps for you when you pass away. He said, oh, that'd be great, he said. He was like in his 80s. Well, he finally passed away in I think it was February of 2008. And he was being shipped back to northern Maine, where I'm from, Madawaska, Maine. He's going to be buried there in the spring. So I had to get my lip back in shape, and I didn't know how to do that, so I took a private lesson.
Okay.
And they told me to stick a pencil in my lip here and stick it up in the air and hold it with my muscles.
Right.
And he wanted me to hold that for like 4 minutes.
Wow.
I couldn't hold that for 30 seconds. I thought my face was going to fall apart.
Right.
But eventually I got it, and I started playing and practicing certain things just to get that lip in shape.
Right.
And then I started, I went up there in June, matter of fact, 16, which is today, was
Right.
the first time, so it's 3 years today.
Wow.
And I played taps for him up there. Then I came back down here and I called Margaret at Nichols Funeral Home, and I told her I'd like to play taps for military funerals. And she said that'd be great because they love to have live taps.
Right.
I mean, they have the ceremonial horn, which is fine when you don't have anybody that can play.
Right.
So I started playing with them, and I've played for all kinds of different things around Wilmington,
Right.
and the moving wall, and
you've played in the rain, you've played in the
played in the
snow,
rain, the snow,
you've
yeah.
played in the nighttime and the daytime.
Yeah.
You pretty much covered it all.
yeah. And eventually I joined an organization called Bugles Across America,
Okay.
and I get emails from them. And when it's something around like Wilmington, not too far, Medford, Malden, whatever, I'll go down there and play.
Excellent. And I understand you're going to be playing for the Relay for Life, which is
I
coming
will
up
be.
too.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I'll be playing.
So you've confessed to us off camera that you consider yourself somewhat a shy person.
I am.
When you are playing, what does that feel like for you?
It's like, I don't know what it feels like. You know, you look at the family and they're so grateful that you're playing. And you see, them crying and what have you. It's kind of touching. So a lot of times I close my eyes.
Right.
And that's
Do
it.
you consider yourself part of the healing or the grieving process for those families?
I think so.
I think
yeah.
so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. Who were your musical interests, people you were interested in coming up that you feel you emulate? Because I know there are many different styles of trumpet playing, right?
I'm really not a musician. I played in a high school band. But I'm not a musician, but I can play taps. And that's really all I play, and I just practice different notes and
But you're
whatever.
going to be playing reveille too.
I'll be playing
I
reveille.
can't wait to
I
get
know
that.
how to play certain, I know how to play reveille.
Excellent. Of all the different places that you've played, are there any that stand out that are special to you or favorites for you?
I played several times here in Wilmington. As a matter of fact, I got the names down, and one of them was, let me see if I can find it here. Teresa Heim. Teresa Heim, she was instrumental in breaking the Japanese code that ended the Second World War.
And you got to play at her funeral.
I played at her funeral.
Wow.
And then I played another one where the guy was he was with General Eisenhower.
Wow.
Yeah, he was the honor guard for General Eisenhower, Robert Riley.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So this is something that you're doing out of the goodness of your heart.
I love it.
You love it.
I don't get paid for it. I don't want to get paid.
Right. It's not about that for you.
No.
It's about trying to give back, I would imagine, to your fellow
Yeah.
veterans. Were you a veteran yourself?
Yes, I was in the Navy.
So it speaks to you even more so then.
Yeah.
And you were also telling me that taps can only be played at veterans' funerals, which I did not know
Yeah.
that.
And it's funny about taps. When I first started, I don't know who it was, somebody told me, you want to learn to play taps the right way, learn the words.
I didn't even know there were words to it.
Yeah.
Well, did you learn them?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to make you sing them because
I
Connor's
know.
the singer for today.
Day is done, gone the sun, from the lake, from the hill, from the sky. All is well, safely rest, God is nigh.
Wow.
And I mow fairways at a local golf course here, and I sing that and whistle that every day,
Wow.
all the time.
Well, that is amazing. Well, I want to thank you for what you've been doing.
You're
And
very
waiting
welcome.
patiently to tell me about what he's doing is Connor Burke. So you are a sophomore at Wilmington High, correct?
Yes.
All right. And what's your current claim to fame? What have you been doing?
I sing the national anthem.
You sing. That is one of the hardest songs I've heard to sing ever.
That's the hardest song that I sing.
Yes. What made you decide to attempt that?
Well, last year I played freshman basketball, and my coach, he heard that I was a singer, and he asked me to sing at the game,
Really?
the varsity game, yeah. So I sang at a few of those games. And then recently my friend, Will McKinnon, had an Eagle Scout ceremony, and he asked me to sing for him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been singing?
I've been singing for as long as I can remember. The first time I remember singing was at my cousin's baptism. I was like 6 years old. And I
Wow.
was singing karaoke.
Fun, though, you
Yeah.
know, so you were bitten by the bug from that.
Yeah.
Is anyone in your family musical?
Both my parents are pretty musical. They used to sing to me when I was a kid. My dad used to play the guitar, and I'd sing along.
So, you know, that's pretty interesting that you're balancing the two, the sporty side of you, if you will, and also the theatrical side. That's a pretty unusual mix. Is there one you like more than the other?
The theatrical side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, have you been leads in any of the Wilmington productions we may have seen? Have you done any plays with the school or anything like that?
I was in the musical this year, Children of Eden.
Excellent.
Yeah, my character was Abel. And I was also in Macbeth this past spring.
Wow.
Yeah, my part was Banquo.
Yeah, that's a very heavy play to be in.
Yeah.
So tell me how often you practice vocalizing. How often do you do that?
Well, I'm not sure if I'd call it practicing, but I sing a lot when I'm home, and I just like to do it.
So it's something you love to do.
Yeah.
Now, where have you sung the national anthem? You sung it at the basketball game, right?
Yes.
Anywhere else other than that yet?
And the ceremony and the Little League opening day.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And what kind of praise have you gotten from people? What have people said to you about it?
They say that it was great. They like that I did it.
Right, right. You like the encouragement, or do you
Yeah.
feel sort of like you'd rather not have people telling you how great you are all the time?
That's a hard question.
Yes, it is.
It feels good.
Because I'll tell you, I sing myself, and sometimes I feel I don't really want the praise, just like Ken was saying. You do it because you love it. I
Yeah.
would do it regardless of whether I were getting paid or whether it was for a special occasion. It's just in me to do it. And I think
Yeah.
it's probably the same for all three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that you would do anyway, because I think you're born that way. I think you're born with that gift. What do you feel is the hardest part of that song to sing? Because we've seen a few people recently in the news kind of make some mistakes. We don't want to say who, but with the national anthem. Do you feel there's a part of that that's a really tough part to sing?
Just getting the words correctly.
Yeah,
It's-
that's usually half of the battle right there.
Yeah.
I think the part with the Rockets' Red Glare, where the tempo kind of changes, is pretty tough too.
Yeah.
Do you get nervous before you sing?
I always have nerves when I sing. Doesn't
Right.
matter how many times I do
Me
it.
too, me too. What about you, Ken? Do you get a little nervous just before you start that first note?
I take a couple deep breaths.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. We were also talking before we got in the air about being in the zone when you perform. Now, how many people were in the room when you sang that song, the national anthem, in the basketball game? How many people were there?
I don't know, the stands were pretty full.
Yeah, so probably like 200, 300 people, right?
Probably.
Yeah. How did you feel at that moment when you were up there and you knew you were going to do it, and it's all these kids you go to school with and your teammates and the other team and your coach? How was that?
Felt good.
Good.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? What are you going to do next?
Well, I'd like to go to school for music.
Okay. Maybe Berkeley or somewhere like that?
Well, I'm not really an instrumentalist. I'd like to go more for vocals.
Okay.
And I like music theory too.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you're not going to try out for American Idol so we can root for you, or the X Factor or anything like that?
I'm not sure.
Well, if you do, we will 100% support you. And I hope that you do, because that's a good way to get yourself out there. And we at WCTV are actually going to be using both of you gentlemen's work. We're going to be having Ken's Taps version of Taps played every day at the end of the day, and we're going to have Connor's version of the national anthem played at the beginning of every day. So you two will be linked forever musically, which will be pretty nice. And as a matter of fact, we're going to take a look at footage of Ken doing what he does and actually Connor singing. So we'll be right back with more of Where's Wilmington right after this. I just want to thank you guys also for what you are doing for the community. I think it's important that you're both great examples, both a little older and a little younger, about what you can do when you really set your mind to it. So I thank you both for what you're doing, and now we're going to take a look at the fabulous two gentlemen we have here today, Connor Burke singing and Ken Michaud playing taps. So stay right there. We'll be back with more of Where's Wilmington right after this.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Folks, why won't we go to the doctor? My uncle called, speech all slurred, complaining his arms numb. He called everyone. He even called my daughter Tiara, because, you know, she's got a year of nursing. Everyone thinks he needs to go to the doctor, including me. So he said, well, will you take me? I'm like, I'm on the road. He goes, I'll wait. Stroke's no joke. If you or someone you love have symptoms of stroke, don't wait. It may be too late. Dial 911. Time loss is brain loss.
Hi, I'm Lisa Capalla. Welcome to Where's Wilmington. This is the second half of our program, and in line with what we were talking about in the first half of the program where we had Ken Michaud and Connor Burke, we're going to talk a little bit more about what's going on in your community, fascinating stuff. So we have with us today the Wilmington Farmers Market people. Hello, Wilmington Farmers Market people. Hello. First, sitting next to me, we have Pam Doyle. Next to her is the clerk, who is John Reedy, and on the very end there, last but not least, is Stan Dansowitz, and he handles technology. And Pam, you're in charge of education, right?
Education, right.
Excellent. So tell me a little bit about what the Farmers Market does to educate folks about the process of organic eating, if you will.
Well, we have people coming in to talk about organic eating. We have also somebody coming in the first week to talk about the history of farming in Wilmington. So we're starting off with that. Someone from the Hardin Tavern will speak about that. Every week we hope to have the education table full of somebody from the community to speak about different aspects of healthy eating, sustainable eating, or even things that have to do with having a healthy body, such things as a chiropractor coming in to speak about ergonomics, or a nutritionist coming in to speak about healthy eating.
Excellent.
Things of that
And
nature.
so the farmers market is going to open July 10th. If you're seeing this already a little bit into the month, we welcome you. So July 10th is when you're going to start that, correct?
Right, July 10th is opening day.
Okay.
And on that first day, the education table will be hosted by the Hardin Tavern.
Excellent. Now, when you said sustainable eating, what does that mean?
Keeping with, well, actually, Dawn could describe sustainable
Okay,
eating
what
much
does that
better than
mean?
I can.
Well, it's more like sustainable growing.
Okay.
It's techniques used by farmers and by, well, any of the producers that we have coming in, any of the artisans coming in, respect to the environment, the materials used, the seeds that are used for planting,
So you're kind of talking about green growing, if you will, kind of using the soil and everything to the most full benefit possible without damaging it. Is that what you're trying to say?
right, and limiting chemical pesticides, things like that. We want to try to, as much as possible, we want growers to be using natural methods to control pests and weeds and things like that.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, wouldn't that be the whole point of going organic?
It is, but there are different kinds of organic farmers, and large industrial organic farmers don't always stick to all of the principles. It's really hard for them to do that, and what ends up happening is that you end up with an industrial farm.
I see. So then, maybe one of you can answer this better than another of you. When you look at the label and it says organic, could we possibly be being duped if it's not truly organic? Are we talking about being a vegetarian who maybe eats cheese? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you saying there are different levels of organic?
Well, if you are looking for organic, you want to look for certified organic. If it just says organic, it may not be certified. If it's certified organic, then there are restrictions in terms of what sorts of pesticides and seeds and things like that can be used.
When we look at your website that you've designed so well, right, Stan? Is that going to tell us those kinds of things or information about
Yeah, there
that?
are some resources. We have a button and a page on the site for resources, whether it's books that we've gotten from the library, links to those books. There's some videos on the resource page, and other links to other websites that have information about any of that organic gardening or sustainable food, organic food.
Excellent. Because I had no idea there was different kinds of organic, so that's kind of good to know. Tell me a little bit, someone, whoever feels the most qualified, about the vendors that you have and who we'll see when we go to the site.
Well, we have 3 farms, I think, that are committed to coming every week, and then we also have several different types of vendors. We have a meat vendor coming who will be bringing grass-fed beef with him. We have a seafood vendor who actually is from Wilmington, Seafood Express, and they're offering the opportunity people can order in advance through them, and then they will bring the order ready for the people to take home. They will provide ice with everything that they send home, and they're going to encourage people to pick up their seafood at the end of their time at the market. We have Kittredge Candles is coming. They make hand-dipped, they make their own candles. Some very interesting scents. They have a scent called Dirt. They have one called Fresh Cut Grass, I think.
Can't get more organic than that, can you?
But then they have some more traditional things, some lemongrass and things like that. Very nice.
And for the folks who are viewing who might not know about the farmers market coming to town, I can't imagine you would have missed it, but if you did, what are the hours, days, and times that it's going to be open to the public?
It'll be every Sunday from July 10th through September the 4th.
Okay.
It'll be from 12:30 to 3:30.
All right. And this is rain or shine, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
rain or shine.
And this is going to be in the site of the old Swain School building, right?
Exactly, yes.
Which is very historic for us because that's where WCTV used to be, so that'll be neat. What other exciting stuff is going on? Anything since you came? I think you guys were here 3 or 4 months ago. Any new things that you've added since the last time you came to visit us?
Just that we've been adding new vendors, and we also have a community table that'll be coming. We have 1 to 2 community organizations a week coming, so we'll be featuring the food pantry. We will be featuring Top Soccer, I believe, is coming.
So different community organizations will have an opportunity to display what they're all about, and folks can get involved that way?
Right.
I think we've added a couple of bakers too, right, that are coming,
for
and
vendors,
then Red Barn Coffee Roasters coming as well.
One of the important things about the bakers is we have Robin's Nest Bakery coming, and she is from Wilmington. She's a Wilmington resident. She grew up here. She's very devoted to the town. She's just graduated from culinary arts school, and she bakes some beautiful breads and treats.
Excellent.
So.
How many vendors do you think you're going to have, numbers-wise? 20, 50, 10, 6?
It'll be 14 each week.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. And I think from the last time we spoke, you don't know exactly what's going to be offered because it depends on what products grow well in the season. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, what kinds of things can we expect, though, you think?
That time of year.
Well, early on you see a lot of greens,
Yeah.
things that grow quickly like radishes, and then once you get into the summer months you start seeing more of zucchini and corn and tomatoes. Everybody knows when tomato season hits, they're abundant.
Will the website, well, what will the website tell us, I should ask you, I guess? What
Well,
can we find there if we're
Right
interested?
now we do have, we have a link to what you can typically find each week of the season at a farmer's market. It won't necessarily mean we're guaranteeing that it's going to be there, but you can also see when each vendor will be there. So we have our 3 core farms that will be there every week, and then if we have maybe an herb farmer that's only going to be there 1 or 2 weeks, or a particular artisan 1 or 2 weeks, that's also
good to
listed
know.
on the
So
website
if you want to
too.
preview what's coming up and see what's going on, we can do that by looking at the website, which is?
www.wilmingtonfarmersmarket.com.
Excellent. Who's going to tell me about volunteer opportunities? I know that there are some things people can do to get involved. Dawn, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, we have a Lots of Helping Hands website, so people can get the link to that through our website, and you can sign up there. You can join there and sign up on the calendar events. It's similar to the page that WOW has.
Okay. That's the Women of Wilmington?
Yes, and they will actually be at the farmers market on opening day,
Okay.
helping with face painting, and they have some things.
Yeah, I was going to ask you
scheduled.
about that. So it's not all just shopping. There's going to be a lot of other things going on too. What kinds of events are you having other than that? You're having face painting. What else?
Well, we will have, not every week, but we have many weeks we'll have demonstrations from, I think, Wilmington Dance Academy, the dance company. I believe the Academy of Traditional Karate will be coming in, and the Yoga Loft. We'll have music. We have, not every week again, but we have some bands that have volunteered their time.
So you're going to pretty much fill up that whole space then. It sounds like it's going to be pretty well organized.
Yep, and people can actually go onto the website and see a map of what we have planned.
Okay, so I know that a lot of the Wilmington students, they're required now to have so many volunteer hours. Is this an organization that would qualify for that for kids if they want to get involved?
I believe so.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been in touch with, I think they call it the Wildcat Project, is that right?
Yeah.
The person running that, and she's made them aware that they can sign up at lotsofhelpinghands.com on our page that they can link to the
Excellent.
website.
Right,
and
so
get
that would be a
hours.
great way to get involved. That would be fun. What kinds of things would volunteers do?
Help with setting up tables and tents. They may be helping farmers to set up, helping with traffic management.
Right, where is everyone going to park? I guess you're going to divide the lot up, right? Is that
Well,
what you're doing?
we're actually doing all of our stuff on the grassy area.
Okay.
So the parking lot will be available for the most part for people to park in.
Excellent, okay. So, why are you doing this?
Why are we doing this?
Why don't I start with you, Pam? Why are you involved? I mean, we're all busy. How come this is important to you?
I'm involved mostly in the education, with the education table, trying to book people to come in and talk about their forte for, like the Hardin Tavern, teaching about the history of farming in Wilmington, Winchester Hospital, a nutritionist coming in, things of that nature. That's where I fit in, trying to get people to come and speak to the community and educate the community.
Do you choose who's going to come? Do you think, hey, it might be nice if we have a chiropractor, or gee, wouldn't it be cool if we had
No, we all discussed
so you
it
have
as a
committee.
group. We
Okay.
have a committee.
Okay. And what about you, Dawn? Why is this so important to you, the whole concept of organic or farmers market?
Healthy living is very important to me, and I want to raise my children to see where the food comes from. I think it's important that, if possible, for people to be able to meet the people that are growing their food and put a face to that. I think that that's very important.
Right, especially in our society where everything comes packaged already. There's that instant gratification concept. It might be nice for our youth to know that it actually takes work for these things to get into your hands. I think that's a good thing. What about you, Stan?
Well,
Why are
along
you
the same lines as Dawn, we've been going to farmers markets and for years, and had been a member of a CSA for a couple of years too. Getting all our vegetables from locally grown, local.
CSAs?
Right, that's a community-supported agriculture.
Okay.
So you sign up in the beginning of a season to support a particular farm, and then you get a share of whatever they're picking that week. You go and pick up a box of vegetables and fruit every week, and so by supporting a farmer's market, it's the same thing. You're supporting local farmers, and there's so many good reasons to support local farmers, whether it's the environment, the economy, the health of your family. And to have one in Wilmington, we thought would be a great idea.
Right.
Why keep going
Why
to other
not?
towns? We thought we deserved one. So
And aren't
started
we
making
originally a farming community? I know,
Absolutely.
you know, so why not return to our roots, so to speak? I hate to even say that. So before we close this segment, can any of you tell me what about the controversy relating to organic being so expensive? I know Stan and I were talking a little bit about that. People are going to say, yes, it's all well and good that you have all these nice candles and all these things, but I can't afford to eat organic, or I can't do it 100%. What would be your response to that? Anybody that feels they want to handle it?
Yeah, I think that, you know, it's worth it. I mean, we don't eat all organic food, but if you really looked at what chemicals they're using for a lot of that food, some of them, I mean, they spray atrazine on corn and it's banned in Europe. They, you know, they won't even use that in Europe, and the government says it's okay for us to eat that.
Right.
And more studies come out saying it's really not. So you're paying for something that's not chemically treated. It might take the farmer a little longer to
Right.
weed the field, or to use integrated pest management that's a little more expensive, but you're getting a chemical-free food.
So maybe it kind of comes down to convenience is killing us in a lot of ways. You know, you just don't think. I never thought to research what might be on the food. I
Right.
just assume the FDA makes sure it's safe for me. I assume that's what they're doing. But I guess if you get more educated through going to the farmer's market or checking out the website or just trying to get more local yourself, you'll learn that maybe there's some things going on that you can make better informed choices. We're not saying it's for everybody, but you know, it's a good option. It's a good option. Anything final you folks would like to add before we close? Pam, you want to say anything final about what's coming up?
I'm just hoping this will get my 7-year-old son to eat more fruits and vegetables.
Well, gee, if that happens, everyone will be bringing their kids to the market. If that happens, we want to know about that.
Absolutely.
Excellent. And Dawn?
No, just looking forward to a really great, successful season.
I'm
and
sure it's going to go well
I think
for you
it's gonna
guys.
be-
And you've got a pretty long season, July to September. That's pretty good. You should have a lot of experience by then, and you can come back and tell me what worked, what didn't work, what you're going to change for next year. That'd be great. Stan, what about
You know, kind of touching on what Pam said, we try to make the farmer's market a fun place to go. So there'll be music playing and people dancing and things for the kids, face painting. So
Right.
to say we're going to a farmer's market and getting vegetables and this whole, you know, carnival atmosphere almost
Right.
takes
So
place, we think the kids will enjoy it.
Make it
too.
more of an experience, and that,
Right.
you know, that way
It's
you
a
can
fun
beat the whole
thing.
pony outside the
Have
market
a piece
thing,
of
right?
pastry,
You'll be
have
all
a cup
set.
of coffee, sure.
Excellent. Thank you guys so much for coming to see us today.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate what you're doing in the town. I know it's going to be a great success. I want to thank you for watching Where's Wilmington. Be sure to stay tuned for more cool stuff that's going on in the town. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next time someone asks you, where's Wilmington? You tell them right here and right here on WCT. We'll see you next time.